If you have too many unexplained career gaps in your work history, you will be toast. There is no way out of it. There are just too many other candidates out there. But the key word here is unexplained, because your task is to create a timeline that is easy to understand and that makes sense, even with the transitions and the breaks in it. Because when people understand the story and the timeline and feel that you are not risky, they are more likely to get interested. In this video, I will share best practices on how to effectively explain the different types of gaps in your work history. Let's go. Hi, it's Lassi Albin. Welcome to my channel, where I share weekly tips and advice on how you can accelerate your career. I'm a certified coach with an industry background, and I have had the opportunity to career coach hundreds of talented professionals like yourself. In case you're up for weekly career acceleration tips, subscribe to my channel below and hit the notifications bell. Now, there are many reasons why we have gaps in our work history. I mean, we have lives to live, and they include other things than just work. Possible reasons include you went back to school, maybe you moved for a partner's job and it took a while to find your next opportunity in the new environment. Maybe you took time off to travel and see the world. You needed a break. Family reasons, maternity, paternity leaves, completely valid reasons, taking care of extended family, maybe a medical condition, or just plain vanilla. It took a while to find the next opportunity. Before we continue, I wanted to share some exciting news with you. My new online on-demand program, How to Advance Your Career with Your Current Employer, is officially live and ready for you. So if you're looking to speed up your career progress, check this program out via the link in the description. So let's separate these two cases of gaps. There are previous gaps, number one, which means that you're working now but have gaps in your past work history. In these cases, I would recommend not to draw too much attention to the gaps themselves. And the reason is, in an interview, the interviewer and company, they're normally interested in your last experiences, the last position that you're holding, and they do go back to the past, but more often they're focused on the current situation. So don't draw too much attention, but have an answer ready if the question comes. Of course, if it's a maternity, paternity leave, sabbatical travel, something that was planned, something that is a fixed, good, solid reason, you can mention that briefly there in your profile. So if asked, tell the truth. You can say, I was making a career change, it took longer than expected. I was a bit pickier because I knew exactly what I wanted. So I took my time to find the right next opportunity. You might have had a medical condition that you would like to mention. You don't need to go to all the details, but let's say you had a knee surgery and it took you out for 6 months. I mean, that's not too personal. You might say, well, I had to take care of the knee and it took 6 months to rehabilitate, and it kept me out of work as well for that period of time. Travel, another thing. If you had a sabbatical, then mention that you traveled, and that's fairly fine. And again, remember that employers typically focus on the last position, so draw the attention and focus on that. So what about the second case, when you have a current gap and you're looking for an opportunity? Two options here as well. One is if you purposely left your previous position to study, to maybe to do another degree, you took that 6 months or 12 months to travel, you had a plan to travel actually, or you have that maternity, paternity leave, something else that is fixed and planned, and it was your decision to do that. Feel free to lay that out there and say, that was my decision. I had a hard stretch, 5-6 years, a lot of travel. I needed the break before I start my next position. Many of us do that. If it's something which was planned, feel free to mention it and to be proud of it. On the other hand, if it wasn't your decision to be out of work, and if it's less than 6 months, you can say that you've been focusing on finding and applying for the right opportunity. If you've had interviews, you might mention that you've gone through some interesting interviews already, but you're still locating the right one for your next challenge. If you've done studies, courses, volunteer work, if you've helped with family business, all that is good to bring in as well. How have you filled your time? How have you been using your time usefully while searching for the next opportunity as well? I have quite a few clients of mine who they step out of their work 6 months, 12 months to help a family business of theirs, and then they return or normally move to the next opportunity in another company. So it's just that the interviewer needs to be clear. They need to understand what's the path. What about if the gap is longer? Let's say a year and beyond. If you have planned activities like program studies, something fixed, something full-time, doing another study program, or helping that family business, clearly mention that. You might be taking care of your elderly parents who live somewhere else, or other reasons. Mention those. Those are fine. It's taking care of family business or extended family. Those are valid, fine reasons that we can clearly communicate and to be proud of them. Those are personal decisions that we make, and they're part of our life and part of our journey as well. And if you have no solid reason, tell that it has just taken longer than expected to find the next opportunity, but you have worked hard, which you should have, to up your qualifications through courses, certifications, different studies, and to land the next opportunity. I mean, you should have been in that process if you've been out of work for a longer period of time. Mention those activities that you've done in between. So all in all, be honest, make sure that the timeline holds and the story is easy to understand. Take away the risk from the recruiter and make them feel that they can fully trust you. Remember that we get recruited for the upside and for the risk mitigation. There is no need to get personal with all the explanations, but to ensure that there is enough information to satisfy the other side of the table individually. Those are the tips. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, and share with your buddies. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.